Okay, so it's not too late to get your cards, and I'll come back in a second, with your questions. We'll be coming around in a moment. I'm not sure if this question is for Commander Tharp or Keontae, and I know we've talked about it at previous forums, but can you explain for people who haven't yet, who does it ultimately come down to within the school? Is it right from the top, school administrator at the superintendent level, the specific school leadership, the principal, or is it the law enforcement in the school that makes that ultimate decision, civil citation versus arrest?
I'll answer because I have the mic and then I'll hand it over. So let's also be clear, the civil citation is a program created for a very specific group of children who have committed misdemeanor offenses, and it either has to be your first, second, or third time doing so. Now, misdemeanor sounds like a big, scary legal word, but misdemeanors include things like schoolyard fight. It also includes things like arguing in class, disrespecting the teacher. It also includes things, well, some people like to throw out the cell phone, but a cell phone is valued more than a misdemeanor value, so that's actually a felony if you steal a cell phone. But things like taking home the USB cord or something from the computer lab. So misdemeanors are very low-level offenses, okay? So who has the power, I think was the question, to decide arrest over civil citation? That comes from law enforcement. But that initial interaction of a dean deciding that instead of just saying, okay, you're gonna do Saturday detention, or you're gonna do detention after school for 2 days this week, because that's something that they can do, they can then pick up the phone and dial over to the school resource officer and say, hey, we've got a student in my office that I want you to come talk to because I believe that they've committed a crime. And so law enforcement, from my understanding, comes into the picture by invitation or through direct observation. If a law enforcement officer sees a child commit a crime, then it's in their discretion, under their discretion, to respond. But we've heard and we've been hearing for years that oftentimes the law enforcement officer really doesn't want to, and they're being nudged into doing so by school administrators. Is that right?
You're correct, and the parents. The cable to the computer, they're the victim, the school districts are. So they're the ones that want the citation or whatever. Again, Escambia County, my resource officers, the guys we work with, like I said, we have a selection process too. We make sure that they're involved with kids, make sure that they, a lot of times we can youth coaches, you know, and that's good for males, females. I mean, like I said, we want to keep the kids out of the system if we can. And a lot of times, like I said, is that the school district is the one saying we want this done, and they're victims of the thing. So that's where they're coming from. So she answered the question correctly. It starts with the school district and comes down to us. So, and if we can issue a civil citation, we will.